Hold on. Before you watch the rest of the video, I have a new site on Tippy where you can see lots of unseen videos and more. Link in the description. Don't miss out. Join the team and enjoy the video.
Is that right? Yeah.
Did you fly, Dave, or did you drive?
No, we flew over yesterday.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, I just seen it recently, and they're declining population.
Like authorization chart and
Yes. So, we currently have 5 positions open on our website. And then we also have 6 that are currently under the recruitment process. Either they've been interviewed, they're testing, we're doing reference checks, some part of that process. So, what you have before you is just part of my job is recruitment. So it's always good to have some to recruit for and some to be in the process. 3 new hires already, so that's always exciting. I love giving people
on renewals for 2025. We're still exploring the opportunity for a near site.
pets, and some may dip away, and you might even get a dog based on all this inspiration of the employees.
She keeps picking
No, he was even the judge last year and admitted that it was very difficult.
It was different, very different. I was the judge.
Yeah, I can't answer that. So,
No, you can't even ask.
I don't think she said what her hire date was, but IMI is up in 2020.
Well, I looked at that, I think that's a bad year.
Her waist circumference is up in 2024. Metabolic syndrome is up a fair amount. So those are things that we want to, then this helps us focus on what we want to do for challenges for wellness. So maybe a weight loss challenge or sometimes hopefully improve that for next year. Areas that are most improved, you can see blood pressure, LDL, and the page says page 4 on the bottom, but then you can see how many people, cholesterol is page 6. 7 was the glucose fasting, non-glucose fasting. So we have some people that come in, maybe they didn't fast, they still want to have their, let's see what the changes are. We don't get obviously any individual information on any person, but just as an aggregate to see. And then the last page on page 15 looks at the benchmarking.
Pages in yellow.
I'll hit the highlights.
What's going on?
There's a lot of reading involved in.
Yeah, you're trying to not want to be on this committee anymore. So that's where you can see how many adult members by year are on our plan. So for 2023, it was 529. So this doesn't count children, it's just counting on that very first page. Looks like this. Yeah. Yep, on the back side of that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where you can see the adult members that we have that wouldn't include children, but then you can see we're up a little bit from 2022 and down a little bit from 2021. So that just gives you an idea of the information that you're looking at has about that many folks that are participating. On page 4, just a couple of things I was going to mention. It says your plan at a glance on the top with some bar graphs and charts. You can see the average age of the person on our plan is 45, which is true of our whole employee population. And then one of the things that we always take a look at is the top 1% is where our biggest expenses are. So the bottom 40% don't cost you anything. It's just usually a few folks that are really, and it doesn't matter for the 20-some years I've been here, it's always been that way. But you can kind of see where those claims fall. And then on page 4 over in that bottom right-hand corner, it talks about what are the top diseases among adults on our plan. And so you can see back pain, things related to that, hypertension, and so on down the line, and diabetes. And that orange line is the book of business for USI per 1,000. So you can see some area, I won't go through all the pages, but one of the things that when they talk about this core report, it's not as detailed as our normal plan. It hits on where we have areas that we can improve for future planning. And one of the things is primary care visits. That's where they're saying if an individual has an office visit or has an engagement with a primary care physician, that's where hopefully you can see some change happening or that they're getting some preventative tests. So you can see where we sit as far as individuals that have had that office visit claim and that's primary care participation. So we've got 68% from last year that participated, 66% in the prior year, which was in 2022, and then 65% in the current year. And way farther over on page 6 where it says, why is this important? USI, who's our insurance consultant, they recommend that you have a minimum of 70% compliance for physician care. And if we're sitting at 65%, you've been under that 70 for the last few years, that's maybe something we want to try and drive more physician visitations. And I think that's where an on-site near-site clinic can help that because people complying with it. And then you can see on page 11, some primary cancers that are on our plan and fluctuates from year to year, but you can see what we've paid in claims by key cancer. So you've got 4, 5, 6 individuals, at least that they took a snapshot at this point in time and how that changed. So that's cancer care management. Page 10 talks about how many people are getting those preventative care, how much they cost on average. And then, like, for example, they're saying that, what percentage in stage 1 for prostate cancer, the 5-year survival rate is 100%. So same thing for breast cancer. If you can identify those things early on, you can catch them and not only save your plan money, but have better quality of life and survival rate for your employees. Then it gets into behavioral health and the mental health piece, which is a big deal. And for the next several pages, we get to page 19, talks about diabetic key issues and diabetic management. We have really good diabetic management on our plan, which is so where they're tracking medications and doctor's visits for people that have a diagnosis on your plan of diabetes. One of the things that we'll see was it in this report? It's in one of the appendixes. Talks about, I think you've all probably heard on the news or seen what we could do. We do pre-employment, we do functional capacity evaluations when necessary, we do fit for duty when necessary. But injury prevention, that's where they're talking office health, ergonomics, early chronic and discomfort management, employee education and training. So things that we'll look at to try and do what we can to address that. Those are some of the highlights. So. Any questions on that? This is the first you've looked at it, so you'll go home and study it and from book page to page, right?
That whole area with that muscular issues with back pain and everything, if you go back 20 years, I don't think people didn't talk about it much or what? Or what? I don't know what brings it on nowadays.
I think there's just more advanced in the orthopedic area. People that maybe didn't get a shoulder replacement now will get a shoulder replacement, hips, knees, all of that is, you didn't hear about that as much as you do now. And I think because they've made it much more outpatient, you can do that surgery. It's much more.
Your hip and knees, most of them a day, I guess, or half a day you're in and out.
And they tie a lot of that to, BMI, less physical activity, less core strength, stuff like that.
So I know at the hospital, which I hate to keep bringing up, but we would have someone come and set it up specifically for you, which helped a lot.
Yeah.
The neck